15 minutes of fame.
You are now listening to 15 Minutes of Fame Radio.
Let's go.
Oh man, 15 Minutes of Fame. A-Ward.
What's up, man?
Four Horsemen. My first actual real interview.
Oh, there we
with
go.
you.
Yeah,
Right?
man. Yeah, man.
Right? First
It's good
one
to
was
be
on
here,
the
bro.
Skype joint, so
Definitely.
now we really here. Talk to me about you and your battle, man.
Oh yeah, Poe Rich.
How
The
did
last
it go,
week,
brother?
it was good, man. It was good. Poe Rich was making his return to battle rap, basically on a high level. He entertained very well. He did a lot of kind of dated joke type, battle rap, which the crowd enjoyed a lot. But it made for a very, very good atmosphere. I did what I do. I won, and yeah, it was just a good event, really.
I can't remember, but I saw a clip of it. He said something about a Bible.
Yeah. He said, what did he say? He said, God is not good all the time. What about all the crime? What about Columbine? And so his multis and his humor with the religious angle were really kind of funny and in the building. They were very effective. So he didn't rap, like battle type, type stuff that we're used to today. But he did what he needed to do. So.
How'd you 2-1, 3-4?
Yeah, 2-1. Yeah. And the reason I give him the third is because, man, and this is my fault, I didn't lock in my third to the day before, and I stumbled over 2 key punches. Like, I didn't choke. I got through my material, but there was 2 key punches in my third that I really wanted to hammer home, and I fumbled words on them, man, and I was so mad at myself. I'm like a perfectionist, so you might watch it back and say, well, your content and he was, this, that, and the third, but I'm gonna give him the third off that just based off I know I could have been better. So
Right. And then sometimes stumble is a stumble.
yeah, exactly.
Shit happens.
Heaven forbid I should fumble over a word,
Yeah. Now, again, you were saying that he was doing a lot of outdated stuff. So how does that win matter when you're battling somebody that's not, I guess current enough or?
Nah, it doesn't matter. No. It matters not losing. You can't go in there and lose that battle.
Right.
You can't go from there and everybody be like, "Yo, are you serious?" But at the same time, when you're battling someone like that, really what is very much important is that you just keep your stock, where it's at or higher. You put together another great battle so that whenever that league looks at you, they don't say, "Well, you basically, did horrible last time, so we're giving you such and such, or we're gonna dock your pay such and such or something," And so in a sense, battling him, he's coming back. He's one of the good things about battling us is like, man, it's like a treasure chest full of let's just make fun of Jesus and everybody's gonna love it. Like if you could do it effectively, he couldn't have came back and battled Cortez or Pass.
Okay.
Because then he would have had to,
Really right.
But you come back and battle the Christian guy, you can basically say, hey, your pastor does this, or your, So it was a perfect comeback battle for him, but yeah.
I agree with you when you say that, because I say if you're a boxer, I don't know why, but I always compare battle rap to boxing. If you're a boxer and you say, oh, I'm not gonna prepare like I should for this guy, you're gonna get knocked the fuck out.
Right, yeah.
Or like you say, you go and have a shitty performance because you didn't really care about the guy you were battling. It makes you look bad.
Right.
Your stock will drop because of that.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's your brand,
Right.
And I don't ever want to go away from a league, regardless of who it is, and take money from them that I didn't earn, and half of it is the writing and preparing, but the other half is the performing and putting on a show so that people will come back to their events the next time, even if I'm not on the card, because they had such a good time. And so that's what's important,
I want to ask you, I want to ask Loso, I want to ask, there's been a lot, like for instance, Saga said something about baptizing you until
the bubble stop.
Right now, as a Christian battle rapper, is that good? Is that allowed to say like I'm gonna baptize you until you drown? And I hope I'm not starting
no, not at all. It's a very valid question. Saga and Twerk went back and forth. That kind of discussed the whole a Christian using gun bars or a Christian saying violently that they were going to harm someone. The way I look at it, I try to put everything into context. I try to put everything into context and create a narrative. So when you look at me, you know what I do Twitter-wise, you know what I do Instagram-wise, this is a Christian guy. So when you're viewing my battles, you know that this guy's a Christian. So if I'm using any kind of like violent type bars or whatever, you know that they're wrapped in some kind of context. I'm not creating a whole round that's basically saying your mom's this, your dad's that, I'll kill you, boom, 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 because then you watch that and you're like, yo, what's he on?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But if I can go in and say like, you know, these are punchlines, these punches, you know, or whatever like that, the 1-2, I punch, you know, now you knocked out or whatever. You might be like, oh, why is he viciously pummeling him? You know, I can be like, yo, I mean, like in the context of metaphorically speaking about punchlines, you know?
Right.
So I probably would have said, you know, your career or something like that, you know, baptize you to the bubble, stop, and try to find a way artistically to not make it, because people know that that's not what we're about.
Right,
you know?
right.
But we're also handicapped to the point to how am I aggressive in a battle by just not being an aggressor with, you know, like with guns and, you know, this kind of stuff, because then you get barked on and then you're back here just like, well, Jesus loves you, you know, hey, you know, and that doesn't, you know, so you have to create, you know, that. I'm okay with it. I just don't think that we as the Christian artists should get comfortable to the point to where we're relying on it, because to me, it's an easy out, you know? And so I'm okay with, you know, here or there trying to say, you know, hey, I'm killing you in this battle, boom, boom. But don't allow it to just infiltrate your rounds to where the narrative of your rounds is looking more worldly than it is us coming up there being ourselves. You know what I mean?
Did y'all, you or Four Horsemen as a collective, did y'all like even have that conversation? Not just about Saga, but you know, like that. Do y'all have those conversations?
We had those conversations a lot. I mean, even back when Loso was doing the imaginary gun bars, I thought that was packaged very well.
Yes.
You know. He was basically saying
it's cheating.
Yeah.
But it was packaged.
Right.
Very
He's
well.
basically saying like, hey, you know, this is an angle. This is how you guys do, and packaged it well. You know. Even Saga has a few times said, you know, like, you know, my homie does this or whatever. That creates context. But there's just better ways of packaging things, you know? So we've talked about that, and we've like said, because even like there's been battles where, man, I'm pressured and I gotta write rounds and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, I could just say, you know, boom, 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 this is easy to write, you know, boom, 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 you know, and then throw it in there, you know, but you just don't want to compromise that integrity. So we kind of keep each other accountable, and, you know, I'm gonna let him be him. At the end of the day, I'm gonna let Saga say whatever he wants. I'm gonna let Loso say whatever he wants. I'm gonna say whatever I want, you know. But we are definitely mindful of the image and what we believe in, and want people to understand that. So. And
the last thing, does that make it that much harder for you to construct rounds? You know, I mean, you said that kind of earlier about the whole, you know, not being able to say the violent stuff. And Jesus
100%.
You, so
people say that the cussing thing is hard. It's not the cussing thing, you know. It's not cussing, because I don't cuss, you know. So that's not difficult for me not to cuss. What's hard is having to create a narrative every 2 and 4 bars, because if I'm battling and I'm like, I tuck the heater, you already know I'm tucking the heater, right? So let it bang on your forehead, Justin Bieber, right? Immediately the listener's engaged. But if you hear me and I can't tuck the heater, I gotta say, but boom, 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 this, that, and the third. Oh yeah, this, that, and the third. And then I have to draw you into the 4. You know what I mean? So creating narrative all the time without like the malicious attacks is a little bit more difficult, you know? Battle rap is geared to, you know, hey, shoot me again. Talk about, you know, and so like that's how we're trained. We come into listening like that, so.
All right, well, I appreciate your time, brother.
Oh, thank you, bro. I appreciate you, man.
Oh, man, and it's actually seeing you and meeting you, and now we're cousins.
Yeah, there we go, man. I appreciate it, man. Take care, man.
My man, A-Wolf, Four Horsemen.
Good. God is good.
15 minutes of fame.
You are now listening to 15 Minutes of Fame Radio.
Let's go.